welcome to Can We Survive? You might have heard collisions between two stars, two galaxies, even two black holes, but collisions between two planets might not is in the discussion. Did you ever thought if two planets collided together in our solar system? So let's talk about if Jupiter and Saturn collide. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system and is known as a gas giant. Jupiter is approximately 11 times the diameter of Earth and is composed mostly of hydrogen and helium, similar to the composition of the early solar nebula from which the Sun and planets formed. Saturn is another fascinating planet in our solar system. Saturn is often referred to as the ringed planet due to its stunning system of rings. What would happen if both these giants collided together due to gravitational pull? The collision of Jupiter and Saturn would have catastrophic consequences for both planets and would likely have far-reaching effects throughout the solar system. However, it's important to note that such a collision is extremely unlikely due to the vast distances between planets and the principles of celestial mechanics. Energy release. The collision would result in an enormous release of energy, comparable to a large explosion. The combined gravitational potential energy of the two gas giants would be converted into heat, light, and shockwaves. Certainly, let's delve deeper into the concept of the massive energy release that would occur if Jupiter and Saturn were to collide. Gravitational potential energy is a form of energy that an object possesses due to its position in a gravitational field. In the case of Jupiter and Saturn, both planets are massive and have a significant gravitational pull. As they move closer together due to a hypothetical collision, their gravitational potential energy would decrease because they are getting closer to each other. When objects with gravitational potential energy move closer together, that energy is often converted into other forms of energy, such as kinetic energy, heat, and light. In the case of a collision between two gas giants like Jupiter and Saturn, this conversion of gravitational potential energy into other forms would be extremely dramatic due to their immense masses. Kinetic energy and heat. As Jupiter and Saturn approach each other, their gravitational potential energy would be converted into kinetic energy as they accelerate toward one another. This kinetic energy would result in the compression and heating of the gases in their atmospheres. The collision would cause the gases to collide at extremely high speeds, generating intense heat due to friction and compression. Nuclear reactions. The extreme pressures and temperatures generated during the collision could trigger nuclear reactions within the gas giant's hydrogen-rich atmospheres. These nuclear reactions could include fusion processes, similar to what occurs in stars. While Jupiter and Saturn are not massive enough to sustain continuous fusion like a star, a collision could temporarily trigger such reactions, releasing even more energy in the form of light and heat. Shockwaves and expanding gas. The collision would create shockwaves that propagate through the planet's atmospheres, generating powerful energy waves. These shockwaves would travel outward from the point of impact, causing the surrounding gases to rapidly expand. The expanding gas would carry the energy of the collision outward in the form of a rapidly expanding sphere of heated gas, light, and radiation. Ejection of debris. The collision would likely eject a significant amount of debris and gas into space. This ejected material could further contribute to the energy release, as it would carry away additional kinetic energy from the impact. Overall, the energy release from a collision between Jupiter and Saturn would be immense and would manifest as a combination of heat, light, shockwaves, and possibly even temporary nuclear reactions. The effects would be observable across the electromagnetic spectrum and could have far-reaching consequences throughout the solar system. Deformation and disruption. Both planets are primarily composed of hydrogen and helium and have no solid surface. The collision would likely cause their gaseous atmospheres to violently interact, leading to rapid deformation and disruption of their structures. Formation of a new celestial object. Depending on the angle and velocity of the collision, it's possible that the remnants of the two planets could merge and form a new celestial object. This could be a larger gas giant or possibly a new type of object altogether. Impact on moons. Both Jupiter and Saturn have numerous moons. The collision could potentially alter the orbits of these moons, leading to some being ejected from the system, others falling into the newly formed object, and some being perturbed into new and unpredictable orbits. Asteroid belt effects. The collision could perturb the orbits of asteroids in the asteroid belt located between Mars and Jupiter, potentially leading to increased asteroid impacts on other planets or moons in the solar system. Gravitational effects. The sudden disruption of Jupiter and Saturn's masses could potentially lead to changes in the gravitational forces within the solar system. This could result in alterations in the orbits of other planets, including Earth. However, the effects on Earth's orbit would likely be relatively minor, and any significant changes in Earth's orbit could have significant consequences for our climate and seasons. Radiation and debris. The collision would likely release a significant amount of radiation and debris into space. This could pose a threat to other planets, moons, and spacecraft in the vicinity. The collision could produce a significant amount of debris and smaller objects, which might be flung outwards into the solar system. While the likelihood of these debris fragments impacting Earth is low, even a small probability could pose a potential threat to our planet. Depending on the size and speed of the impacting debris, it could cause localized or even global damage. The energy released from a Jupiter-Saturn collision could generate intense radiation and electromagnetic disturbances. These disturbances might affect Earth's magnetosphere and ionosphere, potentially causing disruptions to communication systems, satellites, and power grids. Astronomical observations: a collision between Jupiter and Saturn would likely create an extremely bright and observable event in the night sky. Astronomers on Earth would witness an unprecedented celestial phenomenon, but the direct effects on Earth's environment would likely be limited. It's important to reiterate that such a collision is highly improbable due to the immense distances between planets and the laws of physics that govern their motion. But if Jupiter and Saturn collide, this collision will leave a huge impact on our solar system as well as our home Earth. Please comment below what your thoughts if Jupiter and Saturn collide. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel.